contender for tonight's contest. Yes, look at that. Huge X-hook to turn down flip. Oh my word, no! This is probably one of the worst crashes I've ever witnessed.
I was the next rider to ride straight after Stephen Murray's crash in Baltimore, and I was petrified, to be honest. I was so scared, like, for him, and then me having to drop in, and then I did my run, but I don't even know how I did it. I pretty much had tears in my eyes going through those dirt jumps.
Yeah, it totally took me out of the contest. I didn't even do my last run. It was such a mind mess with me.
I was basically right by the first set when he was going over the last set and tried the double flip. You know, it was just one of those things where you could see him go off and just what was going on and how he bailed out of it, and you know, you could tell it wasn't right. I dropped to the ground, like I was just like, no, you know, it's just one of those things that you never ever want to see.
I've probably seen 10,000 BMX crashes in my life, and that one, as soon as it happened, I had a super bad feeling about it. It just, the way his feet came up and the way the rotation stopped, it just, you know, didn't look good at all.
And the position his body was in, it was so torqued, and like, you could tell he went down head first, you know, so it was a real ugly situation to come upon and just see how he was laying there in the ground. It was definitely the worst thing I've ever seen in BMX, hands down.
For him to be down like that, and when I got there and the way he was breathing, and just like there was, I grabbed his hand before it, like when I put him on a stretcher and took him off, and I squeezed it as hard as I could. I go, I love you, bro.
I was just waiting for him to get up, because that's what happens. You crash, and yeah, it hurts, but we get up. We all get up.
Pretty much anything apart from waking up in the hospital for about a week later, and with tubes down my throat, tubes up my nose, and just phlegm like foaming out my mouth, and I just see my mom, and that's when I know, you know, you're in trouble, you're in hospital, your mom's something's going on. But I just felt like I was strapped up in a straitjacket, but it was from head to toe. I couldn't, all I wanted to do was get out of this straitjacket. And I was like, trying to get out. And, you know, I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? And, you know, my mom explained, you know, you paralyzed. It's gonna be okay though. You know, it's gonna be a long road. And everyone kept on saying so much about this long road and just take short steps, and you know, my dad's there and he's like, you know, he's like, it's just gonna take time. It's like a flower, you know, and when you plant the seed, it doesn't just flower straight away. It takes time and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, what the hell are you talking about? Flower? I'm like, can't move. You know what I mean? But you know, come to this point, I mean, I feel like I'm stable now. And, you know, finally feel better.
Probably one of the toughest things I ever dealt with in my life. At the first time, you know, it was really, really hard, you know.
I was just having a real hard time just turning the corner to go see him.
I'll tell you what, man, I don't really cry that much, but I mean, I cried for a whole week. It was real hard, you know.
Seeing Stephen, who was somebody who I always related to being full of life and so enthusiastic, being immobilized like that. I mean, that stopped me dead in my tracks.
You know, when he first did it, he couldn't talk. When I went first and I saw him with my own two eyes, you know, I saw his same old eyes, and it was Steven, you know. He couldn't talk yet, but, you know, just with his eyes, he let us know, like, how much he appreciated it and stuff.
I walked down the corner and I saw Steven, and that was it, you know. You see it in his eyes, it was Murray. He was right there just staring at you, and he freaked out, and it was a real, just to put my mind at rest, you know, that he's gonna be alright. And I didn't know what to expect, but it was alright. And after that, I came out there and I saw his mom, and I just broke down. It was just horrible.
You can't even, when I was in Baltimore, because you saw Steven in the bed in Baltimore, and yeah, he was hooked up to all the machines, but he still looked good. Like, he still had his big smile and his big blue eyes. You see him lying in bed, and you think he's lying in bed, but you don't think that actually he is paralysed. And I think the first time that I realised that was one day, after about 2-3 weeks, they got him out of bed and into a chair, and he just happened to tilt sideways as they put him in the chair, and his arm just dropped dead off the side. And I went to pick it up, and you don't realise how heavy it is to pick it up, and how he couldn't actually pick it up himself. And then that's when I felt sick in the stomach, and that was when it really hit me. Can't do it. That's fine.
I'm paralyzed from the neck down, and I can't move anything. From the neck down, I got shoulder movement, and that's it. Apart from the other day, when my wife constantly goes, move your fingers, move your fingers. She tells me every day, move your fingers. And I'm like, no, shut up. I'm like, stop saying that. You know, because everything's so dead, but, you know, she's pushing me. And you gotta fight. You gotta really connect your mind with your body and really focus on your muscles that you want to move. And the other day, my thumb started moving. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And it started wiggling, and then my index finger started wiggling, and then I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe this. So that's a start, you know? And that's just like a thing in my head to say, if that's gonna come back, and I'm fighting for everything to come back.
I had the deepest, darkest conversation with him, and it's kind of a tough one. And I said to him, you know, Steven, you've united the BMX world, and everybody's pulling together for you. You've changed the face of everything that we do, and I really believe that your biggest achievements are now ahead of you. I wish they weren't, but they're ahead of you, and you're going to have to do this now. And I said, so whilst you have all this support and you have all of us next to you and behind you and backing you, you're going to have to do this alone, my friend. This is all down to you now. You know, we're going to do everything within our power and our resources to do everything we can to smooth the path for you, but you're going to have to walk the path. And he looked at me and he said, I know, and I'm going to break all the rules.
It didn't surprise me that, you know, that everybody would get together like this. But I think how many people it's reached has surprised me. You know, I got a phone call from Paul Roberts, and he said, the other day Steven got a phone call. I said, oh, alright. He says, they wouldn't tell him who it was, but Steven got really mad that he had to come out of his rehabilitation program. They took him back to his room, he got on the phone, and it was David Beckham. And he sat and spoke to David Beckham for 30 minutes. And I was just blown away. If it's reached people like David Beckham and he's showing some support, then it's just an unbelievable thing that's going on right now.
I'm a power. You know, I've got my legs back, but my arms back. And then next, I'm going to stand up and walk. And then I'm not going to be labeled as any of these people, you know? Like, I'm just going to be Steven Murray again. And I don't think I'm ever going to compete again. my bike, but I just want to be there for my kids and be able to walk, get around, and just, you know, just be there for my family and kids.
No one's going to forget him because he was such a big part of anything in BMX. It was always, wow, did you see Murray do whatever he did?
There is that light at the end of the tunnel. Don't think for a second that, you know, that this is the end.
Stephen Murray, stay strong, man.